Penguin Random House Audio presents The Out-of-Sync Child Grows Up, Coping with Sensory Processing Disorder in the Adolescent and Young Adult Years, by Carol Stock Kranowitz, M.A. Foreword by Lucy Jane Miller, Ph.D., OTR. Read for you by Maggie-Meg Reed. I am from SPD. I am from tight hugs and no touching. I am from tastes I love and textures I hate. I am from no tears over sprained ankles. I am from nervously pulling out my teeth. I am from sounds too loud and lights too bright. I am from diagnosis and acronyms. I am from confusion and understanding. I am from doctors and professionals. I am from burrito swings and speech therapy. I am from we don't know what to do. I am from we can do this and no, I can't. I am from homework too difficult and nights spent crying. I am from a C feeling like an A. I am from a C feeling like an F. I am from love, acceptance, and knowledge. I am from hating education to loving knowledge. I am from self-exploration and creativity. I am from dandelions in homemade vases and birdhouses painted pink and gold. I am from kicking and screaming. I am from smiles and laughter. I am from 19 years of life. I am from long brown hair, cut, dyed, and chopped. I am from piercing and tattoos. I am from long nails and brilliant white teeth. I am from a woman always in flight, a busy working bee. I am from driving by myself. I am from holding my first job. I am from dreaming of normalcy. I am from anything but normal. I am from battling the stereotype. I am from personal victory. I am from a luck of the draw, a 1 in a million. I am from what made the stars. I am from SPD. Haley Fannin. Haley is a technical college graduate living in Washington State. She is on the path to find a permanent career, currently working, and enjoying life with family and friends by her side. For the parents who wonder how their children with SPD will fare in adolescence and young adulthood. For the preteens and teenagers who wonder what growing older with SPD will feel like. And for the brave, honest, sensational individuals who tell us all about it. Foreword. Carol Stock Kranowitz has again hit one out of the stadium with The Out-of-Sync Child Grows Up. Since her first book was published in 1998, dozens of occupational therapists and other authors have followed in her footsteps to write books about SPD. Some books are great in different ways. For example, some offer parents more specific strategies, include more research, come with a clinical perspective, discuss IEPs and special education options, or are more relevant for older children and their families. But Carol's book was first, and when parents and teachers get their hands on it and begin to learn about SPD, they are off and running. Everyone she meets tells her, "You changed my life. I don't know how I would have lived with my SPD kid without your book. Thank you so much." Carol is a self-proclaimed occupational therapist wannabe, which means that she wants to provide OT suggestions to every mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, and uncle who comes up at one of her presentations and waits 30 minutes to ask her questions about their own child. I have seen her, time and time again, listen and help the fortunate people who do get to talk to her. She honestly acknowledges the limits of her knowledge as well, never going beyond her scope of practice as a teacher. If she doesn't have an answer or a strategy to suggest, she says, "I don't know, but I'll find out for you," because she knows where to look for it. The sensory kids, who were her preschool students at St. Columba's Nursery School in Washington, D.C., are getting older. They are among the approximately 16% of the population with SPD, based on a recent epidemiological study funded by the National Institutes of Health. More and more of them have reached adolescence, and many are young adults. Now what? They and their worried parents are asking. Not only the children she taught, but all children with SPD need guidance and reassurance as they mature. Because her expertise is with young children, Carol turned to the experts who truly know what it is like to grow up with SPD. She has gathered stories from more than 50 contributors talking about the issues related to having SPD when a sensory kid becomes a sensory adolescent or adult. The stories touch on life experiences, from getting up in the morning and gearing up for school to going to sleep at night. From putting on clothes to picking out clothes for dating. From being in a family to making your own family, and more. If you or a loved one has SPD, you cannot miss reading Carol's new book. You'll be glad you made the time for it. You'll be glad to know you are not alone, and that people are listening. As for me, everything that made me who I am, everything that led me into the field of occupational therapy as a researcher and therapist for children and families with SPD, started when I was a teenager. Life threw me a curveball when I began to lose my eyesight at age 16. Eventually, at ages 20 and 21, I received some of the first corneal transplants done in this country. Although the disease I had was not SPD, it had some of the same symptoms. Just as it is for adolescents with SPD, functioning in daily life, getting around, studying, participating in social situations, almost everything I needed and wanted to do became a constant struggle. Now, slowly losing my sight was bad enough. More defeating was when the ophthalmologist my parents brought me to told them nothing was wrong, it was all in my head. Do you know what it feels like being 16 and having no one believe you? That is enough to make you crazy. Not a little crazy, a lot crazy. You begin to doubt yourself. And once you doubt yourself, you get into a spiral of failure. For those with SPD, not being believed by doctors, teachers, friends, or parents is a major problem. The lack of understanding by most of society is most hurtful and hard to forgive in a world that gives so little to these youngsters. They crave support, and it is often so very hard to find. They need to learn resilience, and in Carol's book, most, not all, writers are very resilient. It is hopeful to read so many accounts of teens and adults getting emotional and therapeutic support from some parents, a few teachers and mentors, and some special friends who really listen and really have learned how to help. Hope and help. What Carol Kranowitz has crafted here offers both. Hear it and smile. Hear it and cry. Hear it and talk about it. And you, like me, will thank her once again for another amazing and heartful winner. Lucy Jane Miller, Ph.D., OTR, founder, Star Institute for Sensory Processing Disorder. Author of Sensational Kids, Hope and Help for Children with SPD. Co-author of No Longer a Secret, Unique Common Sense Strategies for Children with Sensory or Motor Challenges. April 2016. About this book. This book is about what it feels like to grow up with
Sample complete. Ready to continue?